The sentencing is over, but the lawyers were back in court again today in the Kimberly Proctor murder case. What's being decided right now is the evidence and what you should be allowed to see and hear. 17-year-old Kruse Wellwood and 18-year-old Cameron Moffat have been sentenced as adults, sentenced to life in prison for the sadistic rape and murder of the 18-year-old girl. A lawyer representing A News and other media outlets argues that the evidence should be made public and is in the public interest. And despite the horrific nature of it, or perhaps because of that, Kimberly's parents also want you to see the evidence, to know what kind of people did this to their daughter. Astrid Braunschmidt has the story.
Oh, this sucks.
What you're listening to is a recording of Kruse Wellwood's conversation with Cameron Moffat in the sheriff's van on the way to their first court appearance, June 21st, 2010.
They were really trying to stroke my ego, tell me how smart they think I am, and oh, you're so good at manipulating and things like that.
Really? They just made it seem like I got screwed over, and they're like, we understand. And I'm like, you touched me.
The entire time, I had this expression.
They're comparing notes, discussing their individual interviews with police.
I just laughed at like half the things they said and just like sat there with a big ass grin on my face.
The boys, aged 16 and 17 at the time, were arrested 3 days earlier for the murder of Kimberly Proctor. Proctor was killed March 18th last year. Over several hours, Wellwood and Moffat tortured and sexually assaulted her. Then they killed her. Wellwood and Moffat dumped Proctor's body beneath this bridge on the Galloping Goose Trail. Then they set her on fire. On the way back to youth detention, Wellwood made light of being asked by investigators if he had any remorse.
They're like, remorse. Do you feel any remorse? Any regrets? Anything inside of you? Any remorse? Regrets? Any remorse? Any remorse? Remorse? Is you remorse?
Throughout the sentencing hearing, Crown argued that this recording, along with other evidence, proved the youths deserved the adult sentences they were handed yesterday morning. In court, the Proctor family expressed wishes to have information about Kimberly's killers released so they would never be able to hide from what they had done.
They have no right to be protected. The general public has the right to know who these two monsters are.
Emotional outside the courthouse, Kimberly's father says his family struggles to move on.
We live every day, day to day right now. We don't plan anything. There's so many signs, the weather, the daffodils coming up. I mean, every day we walk past, down the hallways, upstairs and downstairs, past all of our kids' pictures that from the time they were babies right up to the time a year ago. There's constant reminders every day. It's just, I don't know how to, I can't say how we can move forward at this point.
The Proctor family may get their wish. More evidence is expected to be released tomorrow.
Late today, we learned more about that evidence. Astrid Braunschmidt joins us now with more. Astrid, what can we expect to see in the evidence next to come?
Well, tomorrow morning, we're expecting the video of Cameron Moffat's interview with police to be released to the media. So throughout the sentencing hearing, we heard that there were warning signs. Both Moffat and Wellwood acted out early on. They showed deviant behavior that was released in the psychiatric and psychological reports. The hope is by making the evidence public that we will all be able to better understand what went wrong and perhaps learn how we can prevent another senseless murder.
That is our hope, and we must point out the hope of Kimberly's parents as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Astrid Braunschmidt, thank you.
You're welcome.